Before watching this guide, you need to make sure that you have watched the normal version of this 3-star dungeon, that you are familiar with the mechanics and have a good understanding of what to do. In this video, I will only explain mechanics and patterns for Tier 5 Dimensional Trial that are different, enhanced, and additional to the basic dungeon. Check out the links in the description. If you thought the normal mode was hard, Tier 5 does get a tiny bit crazier. First, you will want to designate 2 players that will be the 2 furthest players for a specific part. It should be a healer and another DPS. The boss does the usual normal attacks, patterns, and fury attacks. Very often, the boss spawns 2 red shadows that will dash towards a random player, and the boss often does the red AoE that applies the bleeding stacks that you need to cleanse inside the memory. The first part of the mechanic is the same. The boss will jump towards a random player, not the furthest, and fear that player. Check the orbs above the feared player and walk in. If there are 2 orbs, only 1 player needs to walk in. Straight after applying fear, he targets 2 players with a normal fury attack. After that, the memory will spawn. The boss does his usual patterns until the first part of the memory breaks. Before this happens, 2 designated players should already position themselves at the edge of the arena, as 2 furthest players will be marked with a red skull above their heads, and 2 spinning blades will be sent towards them that they need to kite around and dodge. That's why a healer should be doing this. The tank should move the boss away from the memory, while the 3 other players need to interact with the memory indicated by this icon. Straight after that, every player needs to run towards the edge of the arena and spread out. The boss will put a red mark on each player that after a few seconds drops 2 AoEs on their position, adds a purple circle that fears players. This is similar to Void Waste Tier 5, while also doing the red puddles 4 times that every player needs to dodge, while also running close to the memory and not feeding anyone. This next part requires precise positioning and timing to pull off. Tank needs to stand close to the memory, while 2 players behind the tank are positioned like this. The boss will appear and charge a normal fury attack towards the 2 players. You need to know the exact timing when to perfectly block, as in trials you cannot see the timing when the boss will release the attack. After perfect blocking, both attacks will parry towards the tank and destroy the memory. Tank should also use defensive skills to negate the parry damage. After successfully doing this part, the boss will do a wide AoE with a small cone-shaped safe area behind him. Run into that safe zone, survive, rinse and repeat until the boss is dead. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, consider subscribing, and if you're interested in learning another Tier 5 3-star dungeon, click on the video on your screen.